Thank you for joining me today. My name is Mishka and I'm a certified personal trainer here to take you through some exercises that might alleviate chronic back pain due to poor posture. Alright guys, so all you're going to need today are a mat, a water bottle, and a whole lot of energy. You have two options. You could complete your wall angel standing with your feet 10 inches away from the wall. This should give you the support you need to have a nice and flat lower back, as well as keeping your upper back against the wall and your head. From here, you would start with your arms at about 90 degrees on both sides. Your arms don't have to touch the wall, but the closer you get to it, the better, without compromising form, of course. So we're gonna bring them up over our heads, really working our upper back, and then bringing them back down to 90 once again. So arms up and back down to 90. Good. Repeat. Exhaling on the way up and lowering our hands back down to 90 degrees. I don't know if you guys can tell, but I am keeping my core nice and braced, keeping it very tight so that my lower back is not arching. The second option you guys have is to perform a wall sit while performing your wall angel. So you can lower yourselves down. You can see that there's a 90-degree bend at the hip as well as at my knees, and the weight is on heels. And I can ensure that by doing a wiggle test, and you can see that my toes are wiggling, which means all of the weight's on my heels and my quads are firing. From here, we're gonna once again come to a 90-degree bend at the elbows. Good. Lower back is nice and tight against the wall, core is engaged, arms go up. And then arms come back down. Exhale, inhale. It's so hard to talk and breathe. Exhale and inhale. Begin in a tabletop position, ensuring that you keep your core nice and tight, your hands underneath your armpits, and your knees stacked underneath your hips. Once you've arrived in this position, I'm going to ask that you make your hands a little bit wider than shoulder width apart, and pop yourself up into a downward dog. All right. Ensure that your back is nice and flat and that you're on the balls of your feet. You can make sure your back is flat by keeping the core tight. Looking in between both feet, I want you guys to lower your crown towards the ground. Exhaling as you push back up. Keep the core tight, guys. Now it's time for some glute bridges. Glute bridges are designed to work the posterior chain, so hamstrings and glutes predominantly, and a little bit of lower back. So we're going to ensure that our heels are lined up with our hips, and our arms are going to be at a 45-degree angle away from the body as we lay down. So 45 degrees, heels are in line with the hips. Make sure that our knees are bent at 90 degrees as well. Okay, so from this position, you're going to push all of the weight into your heels as you raise your hips to the sky, squeezing your glutes and keeping the core engaged. From here, lower yourselves down. You're going to hover a little bit just above the floor, and exhale, bring those hips to the sky again. So lower your hips down, exhale, good, and then inhale on the way down. Just cheering myself on. And that's how you do a glute bridge exercise. We're actually gonna begin on our stomachs. Our feet are gonna stay flat against the floor, toes stay on the ground for this exercise. So remember, toes are always in contact with the ground. Okay. So next we're gonna extend our arms at about 90 degrees away from the body. Our face is gonna be looking down at the floor, head resting gently on our mat. From this position, we're gonna squeeze our shoulder blades together, so draw them in together and tuck them into our back pockets, pushing them downwards. And we're going to raise our face off of the floor and hands off of the floor at the same time. Remember, feet are still in contact with the ground. So exhale on the way up, and then inhale on the way down. Good, exhale. Inhale on the way down. Excellent. Exhale. Inhale on the way down. For our final exercise today, we are going to be finishing off with a plank variation. So we've worked on our back, we're going to work a little bit on our core now. Okay, so start with your hands underneath your armpits. Feet are going to be nice and wide. I like a bigger base of support because it actually makes the exercise a little bit easier. So the more narrow your support is, the more challenging, and you guys can use that information as you wish. Okay, so we're pushing up into our high plank position. So from here, we're going to take our opposite hand to shoulder. We're really going to try to keep our hips nice and stable. So the slower and more controlled this movement is, the better. This one's tough.